This has been my dream since I was a 4-year-old. And as I got older, it became more of a dream the more I found out about the fire services and what they did. And I just feel like this is my career. And I mean, there's nothing else I could fully be satisfied doing for the rest of my life. I've always had this urge to help people. And I mean, I know there's lots of ways you can do that, but I felt firefighting was the right path for me. I think it's a very challenging job, both physically and mentally, and that's something that I really look for in a career, is being challenged and just being involved in the community. I mean, whether it be pulling a resident out of a fire or just going to residency and reminding them to change their batteries and their smoke alarms. Just every day you're affecting community in a positive way, and that's something I want to be a part of. Just have a lot of respect for firefighters, and it's just a brotherhood I'd like to join. I went to St. Lawrence College in Brockville, and I like to think that I had a very different college experience from a lot of other people that I know, just mainly because we had a really small dorm, and I was actually living with 40 of my classmates, and we trained together every day. And I mean, those would be the guys holding the rope when you're rappelling down a building. So we really were like a brotherhood. We just really bonded and connected. And at the end of the year, it was pretty sad to watch us all go off to different things. So that was a great experience, though. Going into college, I went into that pretty much blind. I just thought, you know, you go to college for a year, come out, walk into a fire hall, you know, and get a job right away. I had no idea what exactly was required to become a firefighter. I mean, that being said, I mean, if I went to school for business, I'd have the same mentality where I'd just walk out and expect to get a job. So, I mean, obviously it's not like that in any field, but firefighting especially, it's very challenging. The competition is tough. And when I left college, I had a little more of an understanding of what it takes to get hired as a firefighter, but still not quite, I didn't really grasp the reality of how hard it was. Yeah, they definitely mentioned it. I mean, we heard the whole don't give up ever thing, and I didn't really pay much attention to that. I was like, why would I give up? You know, I'm taking this course, I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna get a job. And then it wasn't until like maybe a couple years out of college when, you know, those words really sink in, and it's like, don't give up. Obviously, after I graduated, I wanted to, you know, get hired right out of school, right? That obviously wasn't the case. So the path I chose, I mean, no regrets on what I did. I ended up working in the culinary industry just because that's kind of what I did before I went to college. And I spent a couple years doing that. And like I say, no regrets. I became sous chef, you know, moved up the ladder there. And I don't know, then there were some skills there, definitely some leadership roles that I played that I feel like I can take into the firefighting industry with me. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I would have been out of college and then a firefighter, but it's not the way it played out. My one friend Colin, he's actually, he's working as a paramedic now, so he decided to go with more of a medical route, which is still awesome. I'm sure his time at St. Lawrence really helped him. Well, if I had my resume handy, it'd be easier, but I can name off a couple things that I've done over the years. Just in the past year, I recently obtained my DZ license, which allows me to drive large vehicles. And then with that license, well, not recently, I'm going to say in the last year again, I got a job driving a recycling truck, which I feel is a great skill for firefighters, and knowing how to drive a truck is very important. And again, in the last year, I am NLS certified, which is a lifeguard. So I learned a lot of advanced aquatic rescues and a lot of first aid stuff through there. And over the last 4 years, I've been coaching House League Kids Soccer, which has taught me a lot about leadership and just teamwork. And actually just next week, I believe, I start my EMR course, which is an emergency medical responder, and I feel like the training I'll receive in there will give me maybe an edge in the hiring pool with the other candidates. Oh, I mean, money definitely plays a factor when deciding these things, and you want to have the best application, but at the same time, you gotta pick and choose which qualifications or which certifications you want. I mean, I've had a couple of mine expire just because I've got them so long ago. I've been going for this for about maybe 6 or 7 years now. And But maybe in the future, like I said, next week I start the EMR, and I think that's great. That's an awesome medical course, and I had it before, so it's technically a recertification, but it expired, so I have to start the course again from the beginning. And so yeah, that's my next step. That's the big one that I want to get. In short, yes, it can be frustrating. It's not so much even the money. I mean, money is a factor, yeah, but it's more the time commitment that is hard. You know, I have friends, I have hobbies, I work 60-hour weeks doing what I'm doing now, and I just find that you know when you take a weekend or 2 weekends off almost every other month, you know, I mean, it really limits your time with your friends and family. So I mean, it's a little frustrating, but you know, hopefully it's worth it when you know they have 2,000 applications in front of them and they pick yours up, and the list of achievements is just endless. You know, so I think it's worth it. Mississauga is my next test, and it's my hometown, so this is probably the first time I've been eligible with all the certifications to write Mississauga since I've graduated. They have very high minimal standards, and now I have everything. So this is a pretty exciting time for me right now. It's coming up in a couple weeks, and just all the hard work I've done putting my resume together over the last 6 years. You know, so that's my hometown. It's where my friends and family live, and it's the community I grew up in. I've spent 25 years in Mississauga, so I mean, those are the people that I want to serve and protect, would be my friends and family. I would say if someone's going to give up on being a firefighter, maybe they didn't want it in the first place. I mean, or maybe they didn't know how hard it would be. I mean, for me to give up on firefighting, my world would have to be crumbling down around me, and there'd have to be a pretty good reason to give up. I put firefighting, well, trying to become a firefighter, prioritize that in front of everything in my life. The job I have now, my friends, that's just number one for me before I can, you know, really take a look at other things going on in my life. I just want to make sure that I'm staying focused and just every day just doing something little to move closer to becoming a firefighter. Like I said, I spend a lot of time in the culinary world. I could probably walk into most restaurants and get hired at bare minimum as a cook, if not a sous chef or a chef. That's one of my talents. Also, right now the job I have, salary is pretty competitive against the firefighting salary, so the money I'm making now is comfortable, and it's I mean, it's long hours, and it's not what I want to do. I'm not really saving lives. I'm still changing or helping the community in a positive way, but not the way I want to. So you know, I got a lot of options if firefighting doesn't play out. I'm just gonna say stop and think about it, like really think about it, and why you want to be a firefighter. And if you really want to be a firefighter, then never give up. Don't stop trying, because you're going to get it one day. And if you're unsure of what you're doing or why you're doing it, then maybe you need to rethink it, because you need to have a lot of heart and a lot of passion for this job. It's not for everyone. So either you want it or you don't want it. Don't kind of sit on the fence and go either way with it. Either give it your all or don't try, because you're going to waste a lot of time and money. I mean, this is what I want to do, and I think it takes a special person to do this. And you hear about people giving up and just throwing it away, and it's like, if you're ready to give up on it, then you never wanted it in the first place. So, I mean, just knowing that it's a challenge, I mean, I'm always ready for a challenge, and this is one of the greatest challenges I've ever faced.